without any reason. Okay. Okay. Um, what Ramachandran sir did was very closely connected to light and shade that we did earlier. Remember the light and shade. I've started the recording, and our recording is already on. For 15, the recording we don't have to switch it on or switch it off. It happens automatically, I think. Okay. So today is the 26th. We are going to be doing 2-point perspective. You remember what we did with 2-point perspective, the concept of it, how we have the horizon line. We start with the horizon line that we know. Already we know that we start with the horizon line. And as we start with the horizon line, where did that go? Okay, I think I'll have to set that right someday or the other. We start with the horizon line. Okay, so let me do a small thumbnail. Clear, right? You can see it very clearly. Graphite pencil, like so it won't be black. So let's keep it almost in the center, slightly lower, slightly lower. And we try to keep the vanishing points as far away as possible. Remember, this is our eye level line, right? This is our eye level line, and I kept both the vanishing points as far as possible. Now we'll be keeping it here. When we used to be doing perspectives, large scale perspectives, half a sheet, full sheet, I don't know if I've told you, when I used to be doing, like a long time back, about 45 years back or so, when I used to be doing some perspectives for some architects in Delhi, one architect got an order from a project from the Rashtrapati Bhavan to do some modifications. And I was one of the people who did the perspectives. So some of the perspectives that I did are in Rashtrapati Bhavan. Of course, unfortunately, if you notice in a corner, I would have written AZR, but I wouldn't be given the credit because the architect would be getting the credit. So when we are doing something like that, we would be working on, to get realism in angles, we take the vanishing point as far away as possible. Okay, so we used to be working on large boards, large tables, I would say. The boards would be, say, 4 feet by 6 feet and things like that. Huge tiltable tables. And we would have this paper right in the center with a thumbtack, like not pins or clips which are sticking out, but which will go to the ground level, paper level, almost to the paper level. And we would have large scales, 48 inches scales. I have a 40 inches scale, I think, 36. Okay, 40. 48 inches scale, and we would have a pin, which is a vanishing point, outside the paper, very far away from the paper. It will be out there and out there, and we used to move like that. So vanishing point will not be inside the paper, but here we have to have it like that. Okay, so we do that. And what we are going to say is we are going to have a building here. Somebody last class, somebody told me we can do crossroad. That's exactly what we are going to do now. Okay, so that is done. Huh? And that is one building, a huge building right in the corner. Okay, and the next building is here. Next building is slightly, we give some gap and then we do the next building. The next building is broader, but because it's far away, it's now this thing went here, right? This point went to this vanishing. So this point will go to that vanishing. Okay, so this point went to this vanishing. So this point will go to that vanishing. And all the windows there'll be windows, right? Buildings means there'll be windows. Only the Russian KGB building, in my opinion, has no windows. Now, like I remember, uh, they didn't have windows. Okay, and it becomes smaller as it goes away. It becomes very important for us to show the students how this happens. Okay, so we can give a little bit of shading to show that that is a different building, and the same kind of shading out here. And there is a big door out there, entrance. Like there are two entrances on this side, because the building is so big that all these things can happen. And there is another kind of building out here, which is okay. From there, it goes like that, and another kind of building. And there is a forest out here. Maybe a garden, not a forest, a garden out here. So we'll say it comes like that, and there is a pavement here. There's a pavement here. Maybe there are some vendors out here. Let me bring it closer and show you. Okay, we'll do this enlarged. Shall we? Okay. Any questions? No? No questions? Where is our Ganesha? You know what I'm sorry, don't mistake me for making fun of you. I'm just saying this too. Is it Sindhu who is to ask lots of questions? Yes, Sindhu, yes.
No, sir.
Any questions I just asked? No questions today? Okay.
No question.
No questions so far. Okay. That should be the spirit. No questions so far. Just wait, man. I'm coming with more questions, yeah? Why I'm getting the eye level slightly lower is we want to show the buildings more, right? So the buildings will go above eye level naturally, right? If we are standing on a road, if we are standing on another building, it will be a different story. Okay, some other buildings will be becoming narrow as they go down, 3-point perspective. And they'll become narrow as they go up, 3-point perspective. Both of them are 3-point perspective. But here, we are not going to use a 3-point perspective. We'll use only 2 points. Okay? So what happens is, we want to keep it slightly low, not very low. So 13, 15 would be the center. 30 is 29.7. Actually, what is here is 29.6 is what I have here. Okay, to 6.5. 30 we'll keep. 15. We'll keep it at 18. Okay. We'll keep it at 18. 18 and 12. Huh? If any of you don't understand what I am doing, well, even if you had something to do, suddenly you have to do this, so you come back and have gone to a third point, and you are not able to understand the fourth, fifth points, you can stop me and say, Narek, I'm sorry, I wasn't able to listen to it. Can you please repeat it again? I don't mind. Because everything is going to be built on the basics that we are learning now. Okay? The 1 point perspective basics we have learned. How many of us are here today? Let me just see how many of us are here. Only 9, including myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only 7 people have come today. Isn't that pathetic? We are 11, right? Okay. So 1 point, we don't have any doubts, right?
Sir, எனக்கு ஒரு doubt இருக்கு sir.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Sir, 1 point-னா கண்டிப்பா சென்டர்ல தான் பிளேஸ் பண்ணிக்கணுமா சார்? 1 point அந்த vanishing point-ங்கிறது கண்டிப்பா சென்டர்ல தான் வரணும்.
See, let's understand a very important note that we give when we are making this drawing. These are diagrams. Like the diagram is an example drawing. A diagram is not an actual drawing. See, let me, I was planning to bring some paper. I forgot to bring the paper.
இன்னொன்னு கேட்டுக்கிறேன் சார். இப்ப பனானா இருக்குன்னா நாம அதை ஒரு சைடா வச்சோம்னா அப்ப அதோட வேனிஷிங் பாயிண்ட் அப்படி சைடுல தானே சார் போகும், இல்ல அது சென்டருக்கு கொண்டு போகணுமா? இப்ப நெக்ஸ்ட் பனானா அதுக்கு பின்னாடி தர பனானா.
I'll just come back. I'll bring mine is 170 GSM paper and I don't want to be drawing on that and turning the pages. I'll bring some A4 loose sheet. Just a second, let me get my A4 loose sheet. இன்னும் காஃபி இருக்காப்ல? இன்னும் காஃபி இருக்கா? அப்புறம் தரியா இருப்புல நான் அது ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டேன், கிளாஸ் ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டேன். நீ வந்து எனக்கு தந்தேனாலும் சரிதான். Okay. So I got my white sheets. We are doing diagrams. When we say we are doing diagrams, what I mean is, we know that the heart, the human heart is somewhat like this, okay? And the aorta, I'm not doing it exact. Well, if you want me to get closer to it, I don't mind going and taking a reference. Just a second. Okay. So how that goes is none of these show. Huh? This side becomes heavy and some vessels going like that. If we draw something like this and show people, what is this? People will say, I don't know what this is. That looks like a Sita Palam, but I'm not very sure. But if we do that, they'll immediately say this is a heart. Isn't it strange enough? The heart doesn't look like that at all. But this is the diagram that we do. Okay, now a slightly scientific diagram, we can do that. Okay, and we say, okay, that part's like that, and that part's like that, and that's what we do. So these are called diagrams. These are not realistic. Okay, so you were talking about a banana. Okay, so we have a banana. How does a banana look? That would be the stalk. Approximately. Huh? If there is one more, it'll be like that. Okay, where will this perspective be? Suppose the banana is going to be like that. Hmm? Now, I'm not just doing a diagram, I am trying to be sort of realistic. Do you see the difference? Why I'm trying to say this is, you have to understand, this is not a realistic rendering when we say we are doing a 2-point perspective or a 3-point perspective and so on and so forth. That would be the banana. Am I right? Well, I made a mistake of, okay, having the recording go like that. Okay, anyway, I got it here. So that would be the banana. We understand that. What is the question that you asked?
Sir, I asked about the vanishing point should be in the middle, or if it is the banana is in 1 point.
See, 1 point. 1 point. Let me just show you. I want to explain what's your name?
Sir, Shanmuga Priya, sir.
Shanmuga Priya. Okay, Priya. Yeah, because it says Ganesh Muthu, and surely you're not Ganesh Muthu. Okay, okay. I want to explain something. What I'll do, I'll have the vanishing point, the eye level line. If it's 1 point perspective, I want to keep it in the center because I'm explaining something to you. But when I'm, say, doing a 1 point perspective of a table which is right in front of me, okay, right in front of me, I'm sitting and looking at a table. So when I lift my eye level is somewhere here. My eye level is somewhere here. And I'm slightly turning and looking at the table which is here. You know, like I know my video is not very clear. You know, like the table is turned like that. I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the table here. So the vanishing point would be there. Okay. But because this is a diagram, I will draw the facade. I will draw the facade. And I don't have 4 legs, I just have 1 board. No, just for convenience, I'm doing that. Okay. And what will I do? I'll connect these Now done. So
Okay.
the horizontal line is not in the center. The vanishing point is not in the center. But my problem would be, I want to explain to you what happens if this goes up. I'm teaching you. I'm not doing a drawing for my illustration for something. I'm teaching you. So I have to teach you the 9 levels, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? We know that. So I don't have the space. So what will I do? I will do this. That's a table. But let's put all the 9 together. Where should I have my vanishing point? Yes, Priya?
You will keep it in the center.
Say in the center. That is exactly why I keep it in the center. So it is
Otherwise,
not
it can be at any place, right, sir?
right. Look at this. Look at
And
this.
also eye level.
Yeah, eye level. Yeah. Look at the eye level. It has gone up there.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay.
So it depends upon what is the necessity. Because these are all illustrations. Okay. So I was doing I think I did a vanishing point drawing for you. Or I didn't. Let me see if I did one.
பண்ணிருக்கீங்க சார் நிறையவே
என்னவா?
பண்ணிருக்கீங்க பண்ணிருக்கீங்க சார்
பண்ணிருக்கேன்ல.
டேபிள்
ஆமா. ஆமா. அப்ப அதுல எல்லாம் it's not in the center. ஒரு நிமிஷம் ஒரே ஒரு நிமிஷம். Yeah, tell me. Keep.
It all got connected in the center only, sir.
No, here. It didn't. It did. Here it did. Here it did. Here it didn't.
Okay.
So this is not the center. It's even going further down. So it's not in the center. The center would be here. Okay. So depending on what we want, here it is obviously in the center. Pakka on the center. No, even here it is slightly gone up. 1/3. Huh? So, see, look at this. Look at this drawing, which was our major drawing. Like the horizon line I kept at the center so that I can show the bottom and the top with equal importance. But my vanishing point is out here. Isn't it? So it can move, but for convenience sake, we have certain setup. So if you look at the biggest confusion you have, the biggest confusion you can possibly have is because for convenience, all teachers will do something very similar because that is the best way to teach. So any book you take, any reference that you go, you'll see a similar breaking up. So you think, okay, so it has to be right in the center. No, it's not necessary. Okay, so that is understood. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now we go to the next point. Okay, so
sir,
I have taken 8.
Sir, you have told you will do something in color pencil ஏதோ ஒன்னு பண்ணி காட்றேன்னு சொன்னீங்க சார்.
பிரியா, இன்னைக்கு நான் வந்து if you think that I am going to pack up all my things and run away to Kailash to see
இல்ல சார் நான் just கேட்டேன்.
வருது coming அதுக்கு செட்டப் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன்.
Okay sir.
This is the next step. We go to this. This is exterior, as you can see, right? This is exterior. We are looking at the building from outside, right? So we call this exterior. Then we will go to one room. So we are looking at the room from inside. So we call that an interior perspective. We call this an exterior perspective. Okay, I'll draw this and then write that. Okay, so I'm going to draw the eye level line like that. I'm sorry if that sounded rude. இப்படிதான் பேசிட்டு இருப்பேன் நான். நம்ம ஓடியா போயிட போறேன். I'm not going to run away. No, like so. Okay, so the vanishing points are going to be, one is going to be here, the other is going to be here. Okay, so we call this.
So,
Yes, please.
sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Can you just write the measurements of what you have taken for the eye level, sir, in the corner? Hello?
Yeah, I'm doing it. This is what you want, no? You're
Yes,
able
sir.
to see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this I did as 12 centimeters and 18 centimeters, so that this will be less and that will be more. So that the buildings, now as you can see, more of the building is above eye level. So give it more space. That's why I did that. Huh? Now we can take it in the center. Thank you very much. Mm. Okay, I was just trying to get that done. It didn't happen. Now that Priya has started it, I don't want to keep it in the center. That would be the most convenient. Like both the sides going in a similar way, that would be the most convenient. Now that you have asked for it, I'm going to change it from the center to, we'll take this side as less. We'll show more of this side and less of this side. Okay. So this will be how much? Anybody remembers? How many centimeters? This is 29.74, if you remember. Anybody remembers how much this is? Nobody? This is A3? 42. Yeah, 42. So instead of having 21, we will keep it at 15. Okay, 15 and the rest of it. So 27, right? See, we have one line which goes pakka 90 degrees. The rest of them we can manage. Why is it going like that? 15, all right. 15, all right. Okay. So the building comes up to this level. Shall we have a small building here instead of that high? Let me just draw this. I will take this as the lowermost. This building is just this high. Okay, but I'll have that for my. Now there will be a foundation. There will be a foundation, and this is a public building, so the foundation can be slightly high, or maybe there are basements, below ground level. basements coming up, and so we'll call this 5 feet. So that becomes 10 feet. Okay, that becomes 10 feet. That becomes another 10 feet. And that is a, say, terrace. Okay? Okay? Okay now. Just because I said Enamma Vodia Poirapara and all those things doesn't mean that you should not ask questions. Huh? This is serious business and sort of boring. Especially these measurement things are very boring. Especially when we understand something, but it has to be done over and over again. It's even heavily boring. Okay, so that is our vanishing point. Huh? That is our vanishing point. Let me circle it. This into is not an into, this is the measurement line. Huh? Okay, that is our vanishing point. That is our vanishing point. Let me circle it. Okay. Okay. சரியா? இப்ப we can have that building that wide. Public buildings, huh? In the side it can be even bigger. $90 கட்டாயமா இருந்தாலும் all verticals should be 90 degrees. Huh? Okay, that அந்த இடத்துல கீரல் ஆயிருச்சு. Okay. Now what do we need? This line is not necessary. Here, this line is not necessary. Yeah, that's a high level line. It's not going to be helpful in any which way. சரியா? இப்ப இதுல ஒரு டோர்வே இருக்குமா? இது கொஞ்சம் பெருசா போயிருச்சோ? கொஞ்சம் பெருசா போயிருச்சு. அப்ப அதை கொஞ்சம் கீழே கொண்டு வந்துக்கிறோமா? இல்ல அது கொஞ்சம் பெருசா போயிருச்சு. texture. We can have, okay. So now this will have a doorway right in the center here. Okay. How wide will the door be? So if this is 10 feet, that's 5 feet, 15, 25. And this a public building, so it will be more than 10 feet. Okay, let's keep it at 15 feet. Okay, 5 feet. This is 15 feet, this becomes 8 feet, which means there is a basement underneath. So we will have ventilation out there. We'll keep something like that, and we'll have ventilation there. See, that's how we understand. Okay, we know that there'll be ventilation there if there's a basement, isn't it? There has to be a ventilation there. There is a basement. We take it up to this. We take it up to this corner. Okay. So this ventilation and that ventilation will be the same size. So from this corner, we take it to the vanishing point, this corner, where we mark. Did you catch that? Did anybody miss what I'm saying? See, if that is going to be the window, then we connect this point to the vanishing and we bring it up to this corner. Okay. So that is going to be the, say, ventilation. Huh? I'm going to be repeating what I said earlier, which I'm going to be repeating over and over again. We have to do it. Yes. Now this has more detail and it's becoming lighter and the detail is also less. Do you notice that? Okay. So we spoke about 3 levels of vanishing. One is 3 levels of perspective. One is line perspective. Yes. Other is? What are the other things? There are 2 more, right? Line perspective. No, you don't remember? Which means I'm going to write it in. We spoke about this, didn't we? I'm sure we spoke about this. Hello, you're able to hear me, right? Hello? Yeah, you're able to hear me, but you're not answering me. Okay. The next is contrast perspective or texture perspective. We call it contrast perspective. Or texture, right? We actually call it, we don't call it a texture perspective, but we are talking about texture. Okay, if you remember what I'm talking about, tell me something with some texture that I can show in perspective, like a tree which has leaves, which is a texture, right? Anything else that you can remember, think of? No. Nobody's able to think of anything else. Okay, we'll just do the tree itself. Okay, so let me start with the leaves. Okay. I'm drawing the tree ups reverse. Usually we draw the tree from the root up, isn't it? That's how we do, but here I'm drawing it reverse. Of course, there is a reason behind it. Okay, so what do we do now? Now we have to give it light and shade. We'll say the light is coming from here. Okay, so the shadow will be on this side of the trunk, right? Because these are bunches of leaves, the shadow there will be on the branches under the leaves will be darker, right? Obviously. If you want, you can ask, why would it be darker? But if you understand, it's fine. Do you want to ask why it would be darker? Or you understand? Okay, so I'm just going to leave it like that. We can do so much here, but I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay. Now, though this is coming from this side, it will be from above, right? Sunlight. So this part will be very dark, isn't it? Because that's under the shadow, under the canopy, and so there'll be heavy shadow there. There'll be heavy shadow there. There'll be heavy shadow on the left side, right? We generally don't draw leaves. We can draw leaves, but it will be slightly amateuristic. So we just give it a texture and show some leaves like that. So there's a bunch out here which has shadow on the left side. Okay. So this will be having shadow on the left side. This bunch, that bunch is slightly away. Left side and below. It is looking like a tree now. That will be under shadow, but that's slightly away, so it's not as dark as this, as complicated in texture. So all the left and the bottom of those bunches of leaves is under shadow. That is the shadow of the branch. Okay? That is the shadow of the tree falling on that branch. Now we are going to draw one more tree, which is here. Okay, about 25, 30 feet away. Maybe that is even a bigger tree. To make it look as if it is, say, 10, 15, 20 feet away, we have to make it lighter and the texture is also less. That will also be having shadow from the right above. All those things that we said. There will be a shadow which falls here, there will be a shadow which falls there, will be there, but it will be less. Let me do something. Okay, and there is that road is going like that. Okay, and there is one tree out here. It's a different kind of tree, but it's a very tall tree. See, that texture has become less. The detail is also less. There are many trees out there. Huh? There are some people standing there. By showing the people, we are taking that Do you see that this is going away? What are we doing? We are reducing the contrast. Contrast is the distance between, see, from white to black, Okay, to black. Let me take a black and fill it up. Hmm. I don't keep a paper, it might go into the next page. Okay. In between is a certain gray. Okay. In between out there is a darker gray. This is black. So now here it is gray, but almost not there. So there will be one more here, which will be in between these two. Okay. One more here, which will be between these two. So here and here, this and this, high contrast. Okay? Between this and this, low contrast. Between, say, this and this is medium contrast. Okay? Do you get my point? Do you understand what I'm talking about? Okay. Is there anybody who doesn't understand what I'm talking about? I don't know why my recording is not on. So far, what I've been speaking is not being recorded. Let me go to system, sound. It should be recording. I don't know why it is not recording. All sound devices.
Sir, I think it's recording.
It is recording, is it? Okay. Usually if it is recording, I would get an indication. I'm not getting the indication. Should we check it or just consider that it is recording? The speaker is on. No, microphone is off. Oops. I think the microphone would come on now. Let me switch this off and switch